Hello, everyone. Welcome to Study Destination. If you are new on our platform, I would advise you to subscribe to our channel. In this platform, what we do is to introduce you to how to search for schools, how to get funding, how to apply for schools. We will review your document for you for free of charge if you want that, um, and then guide you through your visa process and even um, settling in your destination that you have chosen for study. So what you have to do is to choose a country that you want to study and then get back to us on how to go about it, and we'll guide you the step by step. Don't forget to um, email us with this email, and then we will get contact with you. Today, what we want to discuss is obtaining a good recommendation letter or from your referees. Okay, one of the most or one of the important documents, okay, for graduate school or even getting admission, especially in the universities, is a recommendation letter. Okay, and it's very, very, very hectic. Okay, I wanted to bring this video because everybody getting recommendation letters, it's everybody's problem. Okay. So some schools like UK, some schools in UK don't require it because it puts students in a lot of challenge in to get these recommendation letters. Okay. But some countries like US, most of the schools, I'm not saying all, most of the schools require you to submit recommendation letters. And one of the challenges that everybody faces is faces is recommendation letters. Okay, how to get their recommendation letters. It's not even how to get them, but also even how to get them on time. Okay, so it's really a challenge for everyone. So what I tell people when they come and say, "Oh, I'm finding it difficult getting challenge, or I'm finding it a challenge to get my recommendation letter go through," what I tell them is that if you see anyone who has made it to study abroad, all of them have gone through this hassle. Okay, they've gone through this challenge and they have overcome it. Okay, so you also need to overcome it so that you will get your application through. Okay, one will ask that, why do they even require us to get this recommendation letter? They want to make sure that at least the person that they are bringing into their institution is not coming to cause havoc. Okay, so they need people who attest to the fact that you have good morals, you have good standard, you have everything that makes you qualify apart from your certificate. They need people to stand in for you. Okay, so you need this certificate in order to what? You need this letter, okay, in order to what? To get into graduate school. Okay. So I want to discuss with you some of the strategies you will find or you will use in order to overcome this challenge. Okay. So depending on the country, okay, and then the institution, some will require a hard copy that you I mean have, and then you have a scan copy which is or which is on the institutional letterhead. Okay, and then has what um and has a stamp or their signature. Okay, okay, so those are some schools or some institutions, but most of them, especially in the US, they require that you will send information, you will input information of your referee or your recommender. For example, the name, the email, and then the institution in which they work. And most of them, not all of them, require um the institution's email, okay? And this becomes a challenge even for some professors who don't have institution emails, okay? So you need to put in this email or their contact details, then a link will be sent to them, and then they will write the letter or upload the letter they have on your behalf. In this case, you are not going to even see the letter. It goes directly into the application or the graduate school, and they will be able to access it. Okay. Sometimes it's in this case, it's not even difficult, especially when they are sending it direct. Sometimes it's just some questions they have to answer and then write some comment about you, okay? But there are some also, they need them to upload the recommendation letter they would have given to you in person by the link that will be sent to them, okay? So depending on the schools or the institutions and even the department and how they administer those things. But all you need is that you need to input the person's details, okay? And um somebody will ask, how many do you need? It depends on the school and then the department. Most of the schools for masters will require two, and some even graduate PhD will require two or three, okay? And in this case, those who are the people who qualify to um, give you. I mean, a lot of people may qualify for this, but the most preferred is that somebody who has taught you, especially at the tertiary level, okay? Or if you want to even focus it or narrow it, somebody who has supervised your research work, okay, is the person who qualifies. But other people too may qualify due to some reasons. Maybe if the person that is most qualified is not available at the moment, you can choose other people who would stand in for you to do this for you. For example, if you are not in good terms, if you didn't have good terms with your supervisor and you want your supervisor to write for you, he may not be able to write something good for you. Okay, so you don't want to choose your supervisor to give you a recommendation letter. Meanwhile, you know that your supervisor is not going to say something good about you. The person who is going to write it is supposed to be somebody who really wants to say something good about you. Okay, so um which other people can qualify? Okay, anybody within your department who has taught you, or any professor within your department. So it's not only professors. Could be a lecturer or even a lab supervisor who has supervised anything. Okay, person can write a recommendation letter for you. So even your secretary, your department secretary, who knows the progress of your what, your 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 studies, can write it for you, especially those who have institutions email. Okay, they can even stand in as your professor and then write it for you. The only thing is that I know this person and blah blah blah. I will give you the details of what the people are supposed to write in those recommendation letters. Okay, then it's also sometimes you need a professional, if you have a professional background, okay? For example, if you are, some of them will state, okay, they will state that, okay, if you have a profession, you have experience in working industry, you can add them, okay? But even if it is not stated, if you have worked in the industry or done any form of internship, okay, what you are supposed to do is that if it is three, mhm, choose two professors or two from the institutions and then one from the professional background. Okay. If it is maybe three or two, you can do it one professional, one, or if it is strict, everything has to be in the from academic, let it come from the academic. Okay. Sometimes you may have completed school for a long time or getting difficult in getting it. So maybe at least you have a lot from the profession, okay, but you can just get one professor to write for you, okay. So sometimes the person could even may have left the institution. So you can let the person just indicate, I was in this institution on this year where this guy was a student and I supervised him. I know his background. Do you understand? So these are people who can give you recommendation letters. Sometimes so there are some people who know you personally. They are in different, maybe they have not taught you, but they know your academic journey. Okay. Maybe the person is a postdoc fellow or some research fellow in different institutions. They can write for you because they know you, and they may can just chip in that they have supervised your work in this and this area, even though didn't teach you, but they supervise with this work and they know you have this and this and that. Okay. Once the people are of equal standing, they may be able to write for you. Okay. So because some people are facing that real challenge, okay, you are not getting people to do it, and you may be able to improvise, okay, get other people with good standard. Okay. If you have done all this and you're still not getting, because some people they distant learning and it's really creating challenges for them because they didn't come into contact. Okay, what you can do is that you can let people who are in some positions to also write for you. It's not the best, but at the end of this, you don't have any options and you cannot leave the place blank, especially as you have paid the application and the deadline is now what getting close. Okay, and most of them, if the deadline is over and your recommendation is not there, it will not be reviewed because your document is incomplete, and any incomplete document will never be reviewed for most schools. Okay, so getting to that end, you need to just get somebody who can stand in for you and then write for you. Okay, so I want us to look at the how many. So I have told you, depending on the, always try to read and know how many you need in your department. Okay, if it is two, don't say that you have a lot of people, so you do more than two. Okay, so sometimes, or in most schools, once you get into the application and then you register, you will see that, okay, this person the referees, and I always advise that you move directly to where the referees are and then put their name so that the link will be sent to them. So whilst you are doing other stuff within the months and you have not even submitted, these people may have what submitted it on behalf, because when you submit your stuff late, you reach that place late. Some these professors, you may chase them for a long time before they do it for you, because sometimes it's not their fault, because they always have some backlogs and recommendations to do. So you will find it a little bit difficult when you do it late. So immediately you start the application and you enter into the system, most of the time you may be able to move directly to the recommended section, fill in that portion, and then continue doing the other stuff. Okay. So whether some people will ask whether hard copy or soft copies. Some of the schools want it to be soft copy, most of the schools, so that directly they send the link to the professor, and then the professor or the your recommender will just upload it. That will be the soft copy. Or and some of the schools to give rooms, so far as it is on a department letterhead and it has been signed, you can upload it. Or sometimes if you have that letter, always you can recommend always, if you're finding it difficult, or the people, so you can write to these people, the department chair, that you have these recommendation letters which has been written for you, and so is it possible that they take it and upload it into your system for you, or the graduate school, and they may, some will accept, not all, some will accept. So if you're finding it difficult, what I will say is that always inform the professors beforehand. Okay, so once you get this video, what you want to do is to inform your professors, call them. Okay, this is one of the strategies. Call them. Oh, Professor or Dr. So and so, I'm embarking on this journey. And one of the requirements is that I need a recommendation letters. Please I need your help in this session. I'll be needing your help. So blah, blah, blah. Can you help me? Sometimes it depends on every institution, how they administer, especially when you are in Ghana or in some African country, they use it to generate some funds. So before they give you recommendation letters, the department even requires that you pay some money. So pay and get the hard copy, scan it, and then if an institution allows you to upload it, then you upload. Okay, so you get at least one or two from your institution and then one from your workplace, and then you'll be using this to what? Do your applications. Okay, but if they require strictly, then you now send the professor that, okay, this blah blah blah, so please I will send you, they will send you a link so that you do for me. And this is what I always advise people to do. Okay, for example, you're going to do 15 applications. Okay, when you do maybe the first day you do, second day you do, third day you do, sometimes the professors get bored. Okay, so what advice is that at least get the schools, know the schools you are going to apply. Okay, maybe you've gotten 5 free applications. Okay, do them at a go and let those professors do them. Then the other ones you are going to do, so always do them in batches. Always, so that, because for example, the applications is not going to be done or maybe to a particular what school, okay, or a particular school. So maybe they can do it by maybe sending the same application to the same institutions. Okay, so in this case, what will you do? What you have to do now is that if you do it in batches, it will help them to what? To send these things in bulk. So if the person opens maybe this link, he sends it, open the another link. So within maybe 15 minutes, the person can fill maybe 5 schools for you, rather than doing them in one after the other. Sometimes, if you don't have a professor who has a very good relation with you, the person may do some and then leave the rest. Okay, so you want to make sure, you want to be very sure that you have done these things early enough, okay, or in batches, so that the people can do them for you, and then you will be fine. Okay, one other thing is that some for especially those in Africa and those other places, you want to also try as much as possible to appreciate them. Okay, so sometimes you can buy them some credit, because some people use their data to go online to do this, especially when they are not on campus. So you can call this professor, oh, Professor Barbara, I've sent you maybe $50 to buy, or maybe 500 cities to buy some data so that you can help me in this journey. Okay, it's very good. Once you do that, you have appreciate the person, and the person is also going to do all his can to help you in these recommendations. Okay, so have the soft copy and also the hard copy, and then scan it with you so that you'll be using it to upload to schools that allow you to do that. And then the other ones that will need the soft copy, you will just send the emails, and then they will now what give you this letters. Okay, so I wanted to look at one other thing. Okay, that what will be the the content. This is very important. Okay, because you need to tell your professor what and what the people should write. So most of the time, you need to if you are sending them, you can, especially if you have a good GPA, you have to send them your transcript and then your CV, so that they can look at it and look at what you have done. And that's the most reason why you need to have a good what CV. And that's what we did. So if you have not done your CV, look into the video and then check how to craft a CV, and then we'll do that. We'll bring it back and then we can review for you. Okay. So you send them this and they will look into that and then do a good CV. So what should be the content? First of all, the person is supposed to talk about his relationship with you, what he knows about you. and mostly the academics, okay? And also be able to talk about your research ability, the things, the project you have done. Oh, I know this person, he did this project in this and this and this, and this project was relevant in these applications. Okay. The person should be able to tell you about your good character, how you compose yourself, your leadership skills, and some volunteering activities that you involve yourself into. Okay. And be able to recommend you very strongly, very, very, very strongly to the I mean I mean admission committee. Okay, so I want us to look at some content, some emails that recommendation letters that I found somewhere on some content where you can get additional information. But before then, some professors will can even tell you, okay, it seems we've lost in touch, so can you write these recommendation letters for me so that I'll use it and do it for you. If you get that, I mean, that's something good. You should be able to do that, and then you will be okay. Okay, so let's look at some of the extra information you can get from different sources so that it will help you in your recommendations. So let me go to, so this is Purdue University is one of the biggest schools in US, which has a lot of funding. So they have this information here, which is about how do you what get recommendation letters. So mostly the introduction here is just about, okay, the college, but it also applies to graduate school. Okay, so when you go to graduate Purdue University, you can just type recommendation letters and you can get some content like this. So they tell you a little bit about what this, and then a sample here. So if you look into this sample, you will get some other information for your recommendation letters. But I will share with you my recommendation letter, and then so for example, this a recommendation letter that was given to me by my professor. Okay, and so this letter was sent to the graduate school. It was put on the letterhead, and then later on it was used for my application. So this is the content. I write to recommend blah 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 for any form of assistance. Mr. Mayunu has been my student, blah blah blah, enrolled in the university to pursue BSc, blah blah blah. I taught him these courses. I supervised his final project. And this is the project. This is his research, my research. Okay, so he talked about my research. He performed credibly well. He's very active in class and made meaningful contributions, assisted me in blah, blah, blah. So this is very important because some of the professors, what they do is that they just have a template and they just put your name inside there and no. But this one talked about my research and blah, blah, blah. So this is something that you need to do. He talked about my extracurricular activities. So, I mean, and what I do, leadership skills, okay? And then things that I did whilst I was in school, and also his last he said that have every confidence that Mr. will have a breakthrough in the field of chemistry when given the opportunity. I therefore recommend. So this is specific to me and not a template. Okay, so try as much as possible to make sure that your recommendation letter is not a generic one, but something that is geared towards you. Okay, there is one tool I'll show you, but I'll ask that you should not have something like this. Okay, because this one is what so this is one. Mr. Blah 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 was a student of the professional studies from this to that. He studied agriculture from blah blah and obtained this one. As a lecturer, I taught him during he did very well. This is just a generic, and they just edit your name, put this your name here, put this one, put that one here, and this does not help. Okay, so it doesn't talk more about your research. It doesn't, no. So please do not go for something like this, but something of this sort would be something good. Sometimes it can be very helpful when you go to the Purdue University and you go for annotated sample. I mean, they give you something better, and then you can read. You can actually read, and then I mean, it's a lot that they wrote. They wrote extensively. Okay, so something like this could be used. So you can go there, and in case your professor wants you to write a recommendation letter, try as much as possible to do it in this way for him so that he can use it on your behalf. Okay, and then mostly your professor or the one you get it from work, mostly you can write it and give it to your boss, and then your boss will be using it for you as a reference. That is something very helpful. And then I just want to advise you to make sure that you get a good recommendation letters because it's going to help you. Okay. If you found our content very helpful, please try as much as possible to subscribe to the channel so that other people can also benefit. Okay, as you subscribe to the channel, we're getting more audience, and then people are benefiting. Our aim here is to make sure that everyone gets or benefited from our benevolence guidance. Okay, thank you so much, and then see you for the next episode.